This isn't my first time in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I saw that. 84, 87, and then 94. But this place has changed a bit.
Hey everyone, this is Julie, and welcome to my SOFHAB reviews. Today I'm doing a review on Netflix's Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. And joining me today is none other than Rascal and her team. Hey! So, Eddie Murphy and many of the original stars of the previous movies return for this nostalgic romp trip sequel.
Yeah.
But
before we start, you should like, subscribe, and click notification bell to get updates on SOFHAB reviews, not just for Netflix, but other shows and media too.
yes, I was really excited because I've seen the other three movies, and I want to say that you don't have to have seen the other movies in order to enjoy this one. Rascal watched it; she's never seen any of the others, and it still has its own storyline, so that it's enjoyable as it is.
Right.
Now you will be in on some of the jokes and things that happen if you've seen the others, but it's not necessary to have seen numbers 1 through 3 in order to enjoy Axel.
Right.
So tell me first, what did you think of watching this? Was it different than you expected? Was
A
it
little
what you
bit.
expected?
Yes, a little bit, because I had heard about the movie for years, but had never seen the film. I know they've been one of those pop culture type franchises. And I do remember a few years back, they had announced they were doing a revival movie. And this is around the time they were starting to do reunion movies, reunion specials, revivals and things, with all of their cast that were still around coming back to reprise their roles. And no one expected one for Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
So a little trepidatious on what was going to be, because some of them turned out great and some of them turned out to be just insulting everyone who ever watched the original stuff.
So for those of you who may not be familiar with the franchise, like Rascal, it's an action comedy film franchise. This particular movie was directed by Mark Molloy and written by Beall, Tom Gormican, and Etten.
Yes.
Now, it's the fourth installment of the Beverly Hills Cop film franchise, and it's actually a sequel to the third movie, which came out in 1994.
Okay.
So Eddie Murphy, of course, was in all four. He's Axel Foley. Also joining, I was so excited, our Judge Reinhold. For those of you who watched Teen Titans, he's Negative Man.
Yes.
And some other characters. Had the return of John Ashton, Paul Reiser, Bronson Pinchot, and the new addition of two actors, Kevin Bacon and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who only appear in this installment.
Yes. And with this one, they kind of sort of do a, I guess a slight cliche route of having a mission that requires them reconciling with a strange kid. And they've done that trope before in other media, and I think this is probably part of why people did not talk about the film as much as they should have, because the trailer just indicated it was a new mission for him at all this time. Well, when you watch the movie, they acknowledge that it's been years since the last film. So there's a lot of talk of that he's way too old to be doing all the stuff he did in the other three films. He can't just go destroy public property, think he's not gonna pay for it. Turns out he wasn't so good with the family, so daughter never wanted to talk to him again. So I guess they're showing you that he didn't have a perfect life after the events of the films. Actually, when the only thing he's got is being a cop now, which slightly sad.
Well, I think what was pretty fantastic were three things. One, Eddie Murphy looks fantastic.
Right.
You would not think or believe he's the age he is.
Yeah.
He looks great, and he's active and getting around. So when I grow up, I want to be like Eddie Murphy. Okay, the second thing is it had a great runtime. It was 118 minutes, not too long,
and
not too short.
Yep.
And the budget was $150 million. I was surprised it was that much, because it's like, Disney and Marvel, so to speak.
Right.
But the storyline is better than with Disney and Marvel. And yes, it was a trope storyline, because he was returning to Beverly Hills after his daughter, Jane, and Billy Rosewood,
yes,
played by Reinhold, are threatened. And he disappears, Billy disappears. What I really love is all the living actors are in this film. And they kept doing homages to the original. They had the music from the original series, which was brilliant because you have these franchises like Mortal Kombat who want to pretend the music doesn't exist, and part of that fun and nostalgia is hearing those themes you used to love.
Right.
So they were smart enough to use the theme at the beginning of this movie.
Yes.
And at the end.
Yes.
And they were playing songs that they actually have played in other movies. And they also referred to events that happened within those three movies, making the events canon.
Yes.
We find out in this one that Axel has a daughter and he is estranged from the mom.
Right.
And estranged from the daughter.
Right.
Because she's pissed because she thinks he paid more attention to his work than her. Nevertheless, she's working in the same field.
Right, but they act like it's two completely different things and don't associate them. It's like, what the heck's the deal with that in TV? Oh, cop, lawyer, you like different animals now. Like, what is that trope?
Because she defends people who have been accused. So yeah, she's pretty much in the same business. And we get to see Serge, Pinchot as Serge. His role wasn't long enough. He didn't make a long enough appearance.
No,
That's one of the things I have to
surprisingly.
say because in the other three movies, he had more of a presence.
I
And
guess.
you love his character, but I'm really happy that he was in it. And I also like that he hasn't lost touch with any of the people
Yes,
from the other movies.
I love
either they're all still friends, and either he hasn't seen them in a while, or he's been in contact with them. The daughter sees them all the time. Serge is in contact with them all the time. It's just wonderful that they show that these friendships that were formed in the first movie and kept developing through the second and third are still there.
Yes.
And I love it that it's not like the first Scooby-Doo live-action movie where,
Ooh.
we're breaking up.
Yeah, they
2
didn't do
years
that.
Later, they're all still friends, and that was great. And it was just fun watching this movie. Yes, it has a lot of action. There's some shooting, yes. But there's lots of comedy, and it's the same type of comedy.
Right.
Oh, it was 80% the same that made the other installments enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that they should be praised for. Because usually when they have revivals or sequels that take place in modern day, they usually have to hold back on all the humor the original films had because of sensitivities and thinking a lot of the humor insults people that weren't. It was just all humor. Don't take it seriously. And here they managed to keep a majority of that in there where you could still laugh and they were just saying nonsense and crazy crap. And they knew certain things not to say that you already knew without them addressing it. And then one or two jokes Eddie Murphy says, like, yeah, that doesn't work anymore. And then that was it. It's mostly reference to him and his age. And he's this old, acting like he's still in his 20s, doing all the cop stuff. So they made sure to play it to where they're not insulting people or tearing down the other films for their humor. But it's like, okay, we can still make a ton of jokes, but there's certain ones we're not going to touch, and we just won't address it. So I like they handle it in a way where you're not going, oh, of course you can't do this and all that. I like that.
It was wonderful seeing everyone back. There's a picture that was online that you should be seeing now where they show the first movie with Taggart and Axel and Rosewood in the car, and then one now, so you can see the progression of how long it's been and how they've aged. It's just wonderful that not only are they all alive, but it's wonderful that chemistry they had in the other movies, it's like they never left.
Right.
It's like they never took off. And it's such a joy to watch. Now, this movie originally came out July 3rd, and we watched it July 4th. And I'm sorry it took me so long to ask Rascal to join me, and we cover it, because it's been covering a lot of other things on our Pause on Animation channel. But it's no less entertaining. If you've seen Axel F or Beverly Hills Cop 4, let us know in the comments below. Have you seen any of the original movies prior? Let us know. And do you think they did a great job returning and having a fourth installment? Let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it, it's streaming exclusively on Netflix. It was in the #1 spot, at least for the first week.
Yes.
Even if you've never seen any of the other movies like Rascal, watch it. You'll enjoy it. Come back. Tell us what you think.
Right. And it's a perfect summer movie.
Yes.
Plus, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future reviews for SOFHAB, as well as many other types of videos on the channel.
Yes. As always, thank you so much for joining us, Rascal.
Oh,
if
you're
you haven't
welcome.
visited her channel, get tons of stuff, including a new rewrite series for the Wish movie that you're going to love. So stay tuned for that. When she does come out with it, I'll let you know in my community tab. And thank you for joining us, for subscribing, for sharing our videos and commenting on all of our channels. We appreciate you so much. And as always,
You're special.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Rascal. Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and also wonderful, my specials. See you next time.
God, I missed you, Axel.